Whenever money is borrowed, two parties are involved, the lender and the receiver. Here we're using the bank as an example for the lender and an individual as an example for the receiver. After the money is borrowed, the lender expects to receive a charge from the receiver as compensation. This compensation is generally called interest. The original amount borrowed out is referred to as the principal, while the period for which the money borrowed is expected to be used by the receiver is called time. I appreciate you watching this video. Do not forget to react and subscribe if you are new here. There are two other terms in simple interest. One is the rate and the other is the amount. Rate refers to the percentage of the figure or amount of interest, while amount refers to the sum of the principal and the interest. In that case, the concept of simple interest includes 1. Principal, which is denoted with capital letter P, refers to the initial amount of money borrowed or invested. 2. The rate, which is denoted with capital letter R, percent, refers to the percentage of interest charged or earned per year. 3. Time, which is denoted with capital letter T, refers to the duration for which the money is borrowed or invested. 4. Interest, which is denoted with capital letter I and in some cases denoted with capital letter SI, which means simple interest, refers to the amount earned or paid as a result of borrowing or investing. And 5th is the amount denoted with capital letter A, the total sum of principal and interest. So amount is equal to P plus SI, the principal plus the simple interest. The formula for simple interest is given as SI equal to P times T times R over 100. Some questions on simple interest might request you to find the principal, others the time, and some the rates. For instance, the question is asking you to find the principal. In that case, you have to make P subject of the formula. So you cross multiply PTR multiplied by 1 is equal to PTR. SI multiplied by 1. Now let's say we want to make P subject of the formula. We have to divide both sides by TR. So by the time we divide both sides by TR, we'll be left with P equal to SI multiplied by 100 over TR. Now you can use that same method to derive a formula for time and also derive a formula for finding rates. So let's try an example. It says calculate the amount if simple interest is paid yearly at 12% for 3 years on the principal of $15,000. So from the question, our principal is given to us as $15,000, our T is equal to 3 years, and our rate is 12%, and we're asked to find amount. Now amount is the sum of principal and simple interest. So we have our principal, but we don't have the simple interest. So first, we have to solve for our simple interest. And formula for simple interest is SI equals to P times T times R over 100. And from the question, we have our P to be 15,000, T to be 3 years, and R to be 12 over 100% equal to, by the time you sum 15,000 by 3 and 12, you get 540,000 divided by 100 will give us 5,400. Now that we've gotten our simple interest, we sum it up with our principal to get our amount. So 15,000 plus 5,400. In that case, our amount will be equal to 20,400. Now let's try a different example. It says the simple interest on a certain sum of money invested for 4 years at 6.5% per annum is 416. Find the amount invested. So from the question, our principal wasn't given. Time is equal to 3 years. R is equal to 12%, and the simple interest is equal to $416. And we're asked to find amount. Amount is the summation of principal and simple interest. So first we find the principal. The formula for principal is equal to 100 times simple interest over T, which is time, times R, which is rate. The rate is 416, so 100 times 416 divided by 4 times 6.5. When you multiply 100 by 416, it will give you 41,600. 6.5 is the same thing as 6.5. Multiply that with 4, you will get 26. 41,600 divided by 26,000 will give us our principal, which is equal to $1,600. Now, to get our amount, to sum our principal with our simple interest. In that case, we'll be having 1,600 plus 416. In that case, the amount will be equal to $2,016. The next question says the sum of 3,500 invested at 2.5% per annum for a number of years earns $612.50 interest. Find the time. So the question is asking us to find the time. From the question, we have our principal to be equal to $3,500, rate to be equal to 2.5%, simple interest to be equal to 612.50%. So our formula for time is 100 times SI, which is simple interest, divided by P times R. So the next thing to do now is to impute your informations into the formula. So 100 multiplied by 612.50 is equal to 61,250. 3,500 multiplied by 2.5 is equal to 8,750. By the time you divide that, your time will be equal to 7. The next question says a loan of $6,000 generates a simple interest of $1,350 for 7.5 years. Find the rate percent. So from the question, we are asked to find the rate. Where the formula for rate is equal to 100 times SI over P times T. Then we have R equals to 100 times 1,350 over 6,000 multiplied by 7.5. Multiply that and you have 135,000 over 45,000. After dividing, our rate will be equal to 3. So that will be all for this video. Do not forget to react, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.